Investigation into the Metro Waste Authority, that's the MWA, that reaches a total of over $1.8 million in improper disbursements. That $1.8 million figure appears to be the third largest total of our investigations from the State Auditor's Office since the year 2000. I'm going to direct your attention to the flow chart on page 105 of the report. That is going to be your best guide to understand what is essentially a scheme of using a shell company to make improper payments of taxpayer dollars from MWA into the hands of Jeff Dworek. We are listing $1.1 million of improper payments directly from Metro Waste Authority to Britad. Britad is a company established by Dworek. In an interview, he stated that it was his wife's company and his wife and daughters were involved in doing the work for it. However, no one else at MWA knew of the company. Payments that were made to Britad from MWA actually, rather than going out through the mail, were picked up by Mr. Dworek and hand-delivered. In addition, invoices for the work that Britad allegedly was doing contained descriptions of things that Mr. Dworek was already receiving his regular salary for doing. A larger lesson, I think, from this case, from this investigation, is the importance of bidding requirements before large amounts of taxpayer money are spent. Obviously, bidding is helpful because when you bid out a project, you get a good idea of what the marketplace is going to bear. By asking multiple entities what they would charge you, you have a better idea of what your best price is going to be. But at the same time, if you're bidding things out, that's going to prevent conflicts of interest and can help prevent price inflation as well, because you know you're asking multiple sources for their best offers. Shortest, sweetest way to put it is, if we want to make sure that with taxpayer dollars we're using capitalism, not cronyism, then we should be bidding projects at the local level. Our long-standing office policy is that we don't make recommendations on criminal charges. Whether or not any prosecuting entity has plans to file any charges is not something that would be appropriate for me to comment on, as that is a confidential process unless and until a prosecuting entity makes it public when they have any charges that they might file. Mr. Dworek resigned. He was asked by Mike McCoy to sign an affidavit related to Britad and the work that was done with Britad and his knowledge about it. He refused to sign it, said he didn't have to talk about it, and quit his job. Allegedly, they were building boxes that were a part of the work of monitoring landfills and transfer stations around MWA's work. Generally speaking, a lack of segregation of duties was an issue here. A simpler way to put that is people were presumably trusting, but certainly not verifying. All taxpayer dollars, yeah. So this organization, Metro Waste Authority, is a public entity. It's what you would call a 2080. It's an entity organized under Chapter 2080 of the Iowa Code. What that is a part of the code that allows other government entities to join together, join forces to do something that they have an interest in.